Hey guys, welcome back to IMF Gunpla. Today we're going to take a look at the GM Cannon 2. We're going to start out with a review, the articulation, accessories, and then we're going to go into details about the build. Checking out where the major seam lines are, checking out just interesting builds, stuff about the build. So let's start with the review right off the bat. Here he is. Very nice kit. I mean, this is probably my favorite GM design and kit altogether. Only issue with it, which I'll talk about a little later, is the hand that's holding the gun. I mean, they had to do it so it fit in his hand. I just don't like it. But here he is. Let's kind of open him up a little bit so you can actually see him. Very nice design. I like the fact that this is pretty much the same armor that the Gundam Alex had. So if it looks kind of familiar, that is why. I like the fact that, you know, the armor's green, but you still see the GM blue underneath. So you can tell like it's equipped with armor. And this does use a lot, pretty much all the joints from the GM Type C, Power Gem, and the Striker. Maybe a few others, but that's the main ones that I know that use these joints. Very good joints. You know, lots of good articulation. I guess we'll go ahead and start down here at the ankles. They can go forward about like that. These are the sandal joints, but it is different than the Striker and the Powered and the Type C. Don't have the annoying, like, I don't know. To me, like when you bend the ankle on those kits, the ankle feels like it's disconnected. This does not. His ankles will tilt, you know, like so. His knee, because of his armor, of course, will not make a 90 degree, but it is cut out in the back of the leg so that you can do pretty much a 90 degrees, which is acceptable for, you know, how thick his legs are. His side skirts are together, but you can't separate them. They're not on ball joints, they're on just like swivels, so they can go up like that. And then his hips are ball jointed. They don't have the modern two-piece swivels, but he can go, well, with his knee armor, his leg armor, oh yeah, he can go up a full kick. No splits, as expected for this guy. Let's bring his skirt armor back down. That is a sticker, by the way. His side armor can go out that far, which is plenty. Like I said, considering he can't even do partial split. And unlike a lot of other kits, his butt armor is actually on a hinge, which is very interesting. And there is a, I don't know if you can see it in there or not. Probably not, but right in there, there's actually a stop that keeps the skirts from going too far down. But that is a nice feature to have articulated butt flaps. Yeah. And then you got that little detail piece in there, the thruster and the armor plate, which I said looks just like the one from the Gun Cannon 2, or Gun Cannon mass production type. So that is kind of a cool tie-in between the two. And then let's go ahead and just pop his rifle hand out for now. It's going to get in the way of his articulation. Let's go ahead and push his cannons up too to get them out of the way. His torso is on a swivel, or like a polycap and a stud. So he can't do a 360, but he can turn enough. There is no, kind of a wiggle, but that is it. So if you just... Oh, there goes his E-caps for his cannons. Yeah, so it is a stud and a thing, and even if you take it off, yeah. So we just won't do that. Let me reattach these things. So yeah, that's all you're getting torso-wise, a twist. His head is on a, is it a double ball joint, I think? Yeah, double ball joint, so it can come forward quite a bit. I mean, like, he can actually look down on the ground. Doesn't go up that high, about right there. Can he twist it around? I think, yes. Yes, he can. And then he does have a clear visor. You can see it in there. But these are stickers. They're not foil, so they're not shiny. And just, I wish the camera would show this. They've got a weird texture to them. Like, they literally look like a sticker. Like, they don't look like they're an optic sensor. But there's that one. Let's see, come on, camera, focus. Like, if you get the kit, you'll see what I'm talking about. they just have this weird texture to them. But the arms are on my favorite kind of joint, a partial stud, and they will move forward quite a bit. Let's push this all the way in. And you know, pull the arm out just a little bit. You can't get it very far. Goes back just a little bit. No up and down there. Because of the armor, his arms will only go out about that far. They will rotate 360 degrees, like a shoulder should. 90, way more than 90-degree bend at the elbow. Two joint elbow. The hands are kind of offset, which is really nice, so that the hands stay off to the side a little bit. This is pretty much where the main seam line is, right down the top of the arm, which I had glued so that I can remove it. And then, of course, bicep swivel up here. This is a separate piece. Then you've got this seam line here, which you could get away with. I went ahead and glued it so that I could remove it. And this arm, of course, I've got the shield attached to it, but it's got the same articulation. The only difference is this one does not need a seam line removed on the bottom because it is modified to have a beam saber attached to it. And yeah. And then coming back here to the backpack, I do not have the thrusters attached because I haven't cut them out yet, but they will go there and right there. You can kind of see it down there, yeah. And you've got the ammo drones, which are pretty much, it's a beam, so I guess these are like E-caps. The beam cannons will come all the way down, go all the way up, and they've got this real nice gearing detail in there, which just looks awesome. And yes, he can grab his cannons. They don't look that great, but he can grab them. And yeah, so that's the articulation. Pretty good. Actually, very good. Would have been nice. This kit would have been nice to have some ab crunch, but not a big deal. And then, of course, the cannons, they do have a seam line through them, but it's actually not that bad. Like these pieces here, they're offset, so when you put them together, it's right down the middle, so there's no seam line there. But you will have to glue the ends here, which I did not, because they don't bother me that much. I may in the end do it, but not for right now. Let's see here. So yeah, that's the kit. Now for my only main grief with the kit, the arm. As you can see, it's at an angle so that the magazine can clear his big bulky arm. But of course that makes his shoulder just, I don't know, like it holds it at a weird angle, which kind of annoys me. But I mean, he does, like I said, it does clear it, and he can hold it with the other hand too. I don't know if I'll be able to with the shield in the way, but there you go. He can hold his machine gun. With a little more work, I'm sure you can make it look a lot better. Turn his head a little bit. So yeah, there we go. Pew 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 pew. No, I won't do the sound effects no more. But there's that. And this guy has a lot of leftover parts. So let me grab them and I'll show you what he's got left over. And slide him back here. I'll be right back. Alright. The parts over here on the left are actually the unused parts that are from the, like I said, the Type C and all those kits. And these are the parts that I have either not cut out, these thrusters, his hand options, and something this kit comes with, which would be a great thing for all kits, is actually comes with a holder that'll hold the extra hands. Like I said, that would be a great accessory for all kits to have. It's just a piece of the runner. I'm sure it wouldn't cost that much to add this to kits, put a little extra plastic in there. But yeah, it's just kind of weird this one random kit has this in it. And then, of course, you've got the other hand options, which is an open hand for the right hand, a left hand. Which, of course, he could, no, would that be, I guess that is his right hand. You know, for the gun hand, that one. It'll allow him to, I guess, hold his cannons. And then his closed fist is interesting. Like, it's got a detachable thumb. And here's his fingers, and then the, you know, of course, the the top of the arm. Just interesting. So there's that piece. And then of course here are the thrusters that I was talking about that I have not cut out, because I'm going to paint them while they're on the runner. Just going to fill the inside up with red. But now we come to the parts that are left over from the other gym kits. Here's the regular hip joint. It's got a different hip joint. Here's the face for the head of a regular gym. You can see that or not. You know, that would be behind the clear visor. I'm not sure what this is for. I'm really not. But oh, and then here's the antenna from a regular gym head. I believe these are the arm joints from a regular gym kit. He's got slightly different ones, probably extended because of the armor. They might be ankle, but I'm pretty sure that these are for the shoulders. So you've got all these parts left over. Then you've got the elbow joints from a regular gym kit. They would be going like this is pretty much where the shield would be attaching to. This one has a different lower part or elbow. The top of the elbow is the same, but the stud goes through it. But these are different, so we don't use them. And then of course we've got, I'm thinking these are knee joints and maybe the ankle joints from the other gym kits, and then the regular thrusters for the backpack, because he's got a cannon, he don't have them. So there's that. So there's quite a bit leftover parts. But let's go in here and I'm going to talk about the build real fast, and then we'll end this review. Alright, we're going to talk about the build, which means we will start at the ankle, or the foot. So here it is. And the way it's assembled is, let's lift this up for a second. This is what I call the flip-flop, the gym flip-flop. But there is a joint in here that goes up and down. And then you've got the shin armor. And then there's a little gray piece that makes a little detail there. And then the secondary armor for the back of the foot just slides on and goes into two holes on there. But wait, I don't think I hit it. Hang on. There we go. Just like that, I think. Now, is that on? Okay, that is in. So that is how that goes. And it still has quite a bit of articulation in here. So, and then here's the actual leg. And so with the ankle on there. And like I call it an anti-ankle joint, I guess. Usually, you know, the studs in the top and then the sockets in the bottom. These are the opposite, where the ball joint's coming up and then it plugs into the foot. This is why I say on the Type C and the Power Gym, I think the joint looks weird because, I don't know, just it bends different. I might bring that kit out and maybe show you. No, it's put away. Never mind. Alright. The way the legs are designed is the way that it normally works on the Type C and all them is, I was wrong. It's not the Type C. It's the Power Gym and the Gym Striker. The Type C has similar legs to this. So, I'm sorry. That's wrong. The legs are sandwiched together like this. You know, the seam line will be right down here. And so on the joints here, you got the knee, then you got two pieces that come up and down, and they've got studs facing two front, two back. And, yeah, and so they sandwich up here, which this has, I think this might even be the same bicep, hip. Yeah, the hip. It'll be the same upper leg, put it that way. So you can see the seam line there where it sandwiches together. And then you got the knee in there, which actually got nice detail back here. But the way these legs work is, I know I'm not going to get it done on camera, but this here goes on, and then these two legs sandwich together. And inside here there are cutouts that fit those studs that the regular legs would fit onto. And then you've got this front piece. So of course in the back of the leg you do have a seam line, which I have glued to remove. Then of course, like I say, you got this little piece in here which have to be painted, the thruster, which won't be that bad. There are thrusters on the legs right there that need to be painted, which again won't be that hard. This is actually, I guess I should have brought the sticker sheet. It's got a decent sticker sheet on here actually. But yeah, and this is a sticker. I've kind of cut it to where or hopefully it won't look too bad. But that could it is a raised detail, so that could easily be painted over. Skirt armor just goes into there, and then the cover goes on top of it. Nothing too special there. So that is the lower half of the arm. Speaking of arms, we'll go over this. Basic arm joint, especially if you've built any of the Type C, the Power Gym or anything. Same shoulder in here, same bicep armor. There's just that. And then the top half of the arm joint. And then this little piece goes over that. And then it goes inside here. And of course, like pretty much all mobile suits that use this joint, I do add a little bit of glue to that stud coming out to make the joint a little stiffer, because it likes to pop out. And then of course the two pieces of the shoulder armor just snap together over that inner piece. And then there's a polycap in there, obviously. And that is the arm. Nothing spectacular. I mean, it's pretty much the same build as all the others, though the joint in here is really loose, so it can be a little frustrating when you're putting the two halves together, because like there's no friction on it. It's literally just sitting on a little stud in there. So I did glue mine together so that it wouldn't flop around. I mean, it don't flop around once you put it together, but until the two halves are snapped together, it is very loose. So just keep that in mind. And then coming up to the upper torso, all this green up here is one piece. Well, I mean, you know, they got the front and the back. And then you got this blue piece here, which I can't remember if it comes off or not. Yes, it does. But that's just like the regular gems. That's probably the same piece that they have, actually. And it just fills in that gap. Oh, there are vents. I forgot to mention that. I don't know where they are. But once they go in, they're hard to get out. So I'm going to panel line them first, then put them in there. So yeah, there are yellow vents to go in there. Forgot about that. Sorry. And then his shoulder joint. Here's your typical thing. It goes forward, back. This one doesn't actually go up and down like some of the other, like at least the Zaku FZ that I just reviewed. It only goes forward and back. But like I said, it does go forward quite a bit. The head is in two halves, and it splits down the middle right here. So you can see that seam line. It's not a bad seam line. I actually think in the illustrations that is actually there, and it's panel lined. And then you've got this, I don't know, chin strap armor piece here. You've got a clear visor. Then you've got a sticker for the front, the rear camera. Both these antennas are separate pieces. Lots of panel line detail in there. Nice head. I don't know if you can see it now, but there are Vulcans there. Trust me, they're there. And then talked about the beam cannon. Pretty much this whole piece right here is an assembly. I have glued mine on there so it won't fall off. And then, yeah, they go up and down like a beam cannon should. And then these pieces here are separate, obviously. I guess they're like and they have one line through there which you can detail. And then you got holes up here for thrusters, and right there for thrusters. Other than that, it's a pretty simple build. You've got this green piece here, then you got one inside where it'll actually connect to the back. You can kind of see the line down there. So yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm about to look when I build the Type C, but I wonder if this backpack will fit the other gyms, because I think this would look freaking awesome on the Power Gym, like Power Gym cannon type. Interesting idea. Anyway, here's this shoulder. Like I said, I'm not going to, or did I already? Okay, I keep lying to myself. I did glue it. So there is a seam straight through here. You definitely probably could get away without having to deal with it if you wanted to, but I did. Here is another one of some more of the decals that I've added. Got the Albion emblem, and then I made him number 14 because, I don't know, I like 14. So there's his hand. Yeah. Workout. Sorry. And his beam saber does come out. Trust me, it comes out. This may have to remove that. It's just on. Yeah, there you go. Just on a little stud in there. And I don't have it because I like pretty much immediately threw it into my parts bin. But it does come with the what is it, SB3, just the typical kind of pinkish colored beam effect parts. So yeah, that is how it's built. And then of course, you know, lots of thruster details you can paint in. There's some on the shoulders, and all that can be filled in. Not, you know, thruster detail, but all those slots can be filled in. Probably be cool to drill them out, but there's a lot of built stuff in there, so it may not look that great. One of these sides actually is a poly cap, or a stud that goes through the poly cap, so scratch that. Don't cut those out. Just fill them in with black paint. So yeah, so let's put them back together, and there we go. There is our GM Cannon 2. Great kit. If you can find one, grab it. I think I ended up having to pay 20 bucks for him, like $21 shipped off of Amazon. But if you can get him, definitely pick him up. I'm looking forward to grabbing the GM Custom now. Pretty much the same, probably going to be the same build as the Type C and everything. So yeah, definitely a great GM kit, great kit in general. So if you can find one, go ahead and grab it. Lots of stickers, which, you know, some people don't like them, but I do like stickers. Lots of panel lining. Seams aren't bad at all. Articulation's good. Overall, just a really good kit. Yeah, if you guys liked the video, would you mind leaving a like below? Have any comments, questions about the kit, let me know and I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and keep building.